morning, my name is Matt Sullivan. I'm the Director of Planning and Development for the town of Wolfeboro, New Hampshire, and you're joining me for the May Coffee and Connections with the Town Planner. We're going to cover a couple of quick topics today. Hopefully you've had a chance to catch our earlier versions of Coffee and Connections talking about shoreline permitting and a couple other projects that are going on right now. There are three things I'm going to update you on today, the first of which is some of the work that we're doing with our kiosks in our downtown area. We have 3 kiosks right now. We have one at the dockside area, one at the railroad station, and one adjacent to the Glendon Street parking lot. Those three brown kiosks are a little hard to miss. We're working on improving that a little bit. And the mapping material within them hasn't been updated in several years, so that's actually a project that we're working on right now. This old kiosk map, which is a little bit faded, you may remember seeing when you've been walking around downtown. If you haven't caught these, please take a chance to look. We're hoping to attract some more attention with them. They're really intended to give you a general sense of where different destinations, including parking, boat ramps, restrooms, information, where that stuff can be found, so that when a visitor comes into town, or even folks who live here who may not know the town well, they have an opportunity to actually locate these different resources when they're in our downtown area particularly. So that's really how we started off this project many, many years ago. But again, long time since these kiosk maps have been updated, and we're hoping to make some improvements. Subsequently, just a few years ago, we actually did some more kiosk mapping, but this was really these kiosks were placed around town in little whiskey barrels that were cut off. We sort of tried to indicate all of the businesses in the downtown area, which was, I think, a well-intentioned project, but something that ultimately didn't really work out as well as we'd hoped. So we went away from this concept and have really circled back to a map much like this one, and that's really what you saw within our kiosks during the year 2018. We had a map in there. Unfortunately, we didn't make the best decisions when it came to sort of the durability of the materials we were using. So while we were really happy with the map itself, it didn't stand up well to the weather and different wear and tear that they get within those kiosks that we have out there. So let me talk a little bit about what's going on here and what we're going to be improving hopefully for 2019 with the new versions, this again being the old version. We did again sort of do a blow up of the downtown area. We have our parking, different recreational areas on here, and obviously an underlay of the aerial map. Hopefully folks will be able to figure out where they are based on that. Additionally, we've drawn on some arrows sort of identifying a few specific resources in the downtown area. The Wright Museum, which is in our Wolfeboro Falls area, and also the Sewell Woods Recreation Area, which is just up North Main Street on the western side of the road there. We want to sort of direct people out a little bit outside of the downtown area to feasible walking areas, and that's how we've chosen to do that. In addition, however, we've also included a few other maps on the larger map. That includes a map of sort of greater Wolfeboro, including resources like Brewster Beach, Albee Beach, the Cotton Valley Rail Trail, Front Bay Park, some of those resources that are a little outside of the downtown core and can't really be shown well on this map. Additionally, on this map, we've actually included some walking and biking distances. So if folks are looking at this map in the downtown area and they're interested in visiting one of these destinations but not by car, they actually have a good sense of how long it might take to walk there, or if they have a bike, how long it might take to reach it by bike. And we've done what I think a pretty good job to indicate which are reachable by bike and which are not. So that's indicated down here in this map. Additionally, I mentioned that we are including the Sewell Woods Recreation Area, which is really a fantastic asset for the town. In including that, we wanted to make sure that we gave people a sense of what that looked like, so we've included the Sewell Woods trail map that came directly from the Pathways Committee of the town of Wolfeboro, which has done some great work there. We've included that map of the conservation area so that folks have a sense of what trails might be available and what different activities can actually be done on the trail. Some of those are sort of what we call share the road. Others are enhanced trails that have different use allowances. So again, 3 different maps dealing with 3 different geographic areas. We don't anticipate these maps changing a whole lot with one major exception. On our large map, we weren't totally happy with sort of the look of this. It was very, the term I use is sort of whitewashed. It's difficult to see because of the white balance in the picture. It doesn't really give people the best sense of the town of Wolfeboro. We're hoping to get some new, what we call imagery underneath this so that we get a sort of a better color, a darker color, more of a warm feel. And we're hoping that it actually enhances a lot of these markers that we've put on the map as well. So again, really just sprucing up the look of the map moving forward. Additionally, we had included this 2018 events list. These are events that are really the primary events within the town of Wolfeboro. And although we like the idea of having the events accessible to the public when they look at these maps, it makes it a little more challenging for us to update these maps or not update them on an annual basis. Instead, what we're going to do is we're actually going to remove this, and next to these maps, hopefully we'll have some content posted, some flyers about different events, that sort of thing, because as you see, these 3 kiosks are either double-sided or they have some extra space that can be used for different flyers and things of that sort. So again, if you're out in the community this summer, hopefully starting in May, and you see one of these kiosk maps, you'll see that you can contact us with questions or comments. Please just feel free to give me a call at 569-5970 or planningdirector@wolfeboronh.us. If you have any questions or comments about the map, or if you see that a map has potentially been vandalized, unfortunately, we'd like to know about that so that we can make sure that we're providing the best information to the public possible. So please let us know what you think. So that's update number 1. Update number 2 is very simple. I've talked with you a few times about the Wolfeboro Master Plan, which has turned into a very intense 1-year effort. We're wrapping up our last 2 chapters right now, being the Future Land Use chapter and also the Infrastructure and Transportation chapter. We're going to be holding public hearings on those 2 chapters in the coming months. I'll be back to you with a date shortly. We're just making sure that we get that work completed, that the Planning Board has an opportunity to complete their review of those 2 chapters. But we're really excited about the work that's been done and are really happy that a lot of the projects that have been identified within that plan are actually being implemented as we speak. So we're already seeing progress that can be directly tied back to what the master plan has put together. And as you'll see pretty shortly, it's a comprehensive document. It's several hundred pages long. There's a lot of content in there, but there'll also be a section of it that really boils it down for the average reader so they can get a sense of where we're going as a community into the future. So please stay tuned for those public hearings, and certainly stay tuned to our website where we'll be posting the content related to the master plan. The third update is just to remind folks, I'm talking to you in May of this year. If you are interested in joining one of the town's various vacancies on its boards and committees, I'm sort of speaking as the planner here, but also on behalf of some of the Board of Selectmen's committees, please feel free to reach out to us, and you can either contact me or contact the town manager's office. I'm going to quickly run through what the vacancies are right now on the different boards. Please bear in mind that by the time you reach out to us, some of these may change, so please feel free to reach out before you put together a letter of interest. But the different vacancies are as follows. We have an opening for an alternate member on the trustee of the trust funds, and that's a period of, it's a 1-year term for that. We have some openings on the ZBA that have been filled, but we do have vacancies for alternate members on the ZBA, and those are terms of 3 years. Those meet on the first Monday of the month. The Zoning Board of Adjustment is a board that I staff in town. We have an opening for a Conservation Commission member, and that's an alternate member, and that term is 3 years in length, and they meet fairly frequently, and they have some sort of as-needed meetings as well, but a really great group if you're interested in sort of environmental policy and review. The Agricultural Commission has an opening for an alternate, and that's a period of 3 years, so 1 alternate position there. The EDC has some openings for membership. Right now, I believe we have 4 vacancies. We have received some letters of interest there that I'm aware of. I staff this committee as well, and those memberships are for a period of 3 years. No alternate memberships available right now there, but certainly if you're interested, please don't hesitate to submit your name for any of these committees, and we'll keep you on our roster. The Milfoil Committee has 3 memberships open right now for a period of 3 years on each of those. The Wolfeboro Energy Committee, which is doing some really exciting work right now, has 2 openings for members, and those are 3-year terms, and 1 member for a 2-year term. So if you'd like a shorter commitment, that's an opportunity to get on board and learn a little bit about what they're doing. Pathways Committee has several openings, 2 members for 3-year terms, 2 members for 1-year terms, and 3 members for 2-year terms. So you really have a nice suite of options there when it comes to getting involved on a variable basis. Our Information Systems Advisory Committee, really our Technology Committee, has an opening for 1 member for a 3-year period. Fisherville, which has been a committee that's been meeting as the ice allows us to over the past couple of years. We're having some more conversations about Fisherville at different committee levels. There are some memberships open there, but please reach out to us on this one because we have some concerns about the long-term viability of that committee, and we need to talk about its direction. And lastly, we have some openings for the Heritage Commission, which is another group that I staff. We have 4 memberships open in there for periods of 3 years, really working on historic preservation efforts throughout the town and doing some exciting work on barn preservation and other preservation projects right now. Again, if you have any interest in these, please reach out to the town manager, secretary, or me if you have questions. We'd be happy to have you on. The Board of Selectmen consider the appointments for all of these groups that I've read right here. So if you have a connection to a Board of Selectmen member, please don't hesitate to ask them as well. We really rely on these committees to get so much of the work done that we do here in the town of Wolfeboro, and we're really thankful for that, and we hope that you can participate in those processes. Just as a note, if you're thinking about joining any of these committees, but or maybe would just like to attend a meeting, please feel free. All of the meetings of these committees are open to the public unless otherwise noted. So if you just would like to get a sample of what's going on, feel free to check those out. You can find the meeting agendas posted within Town Hall or on the town website under the banner for boards and committees. Everything should be available there, and again, please contact us if you have any questions. With that, I'm going to thank you for joining this very brief version of the May Coffee and Connections with the Town Planner. Again, a big thank you to Community TV for hosting this every month, and we look forward to seeing you in June. Enjoy spring.